Hello. For my presentation, I will be covering the second portion of Hume's section 4, particularly where Hume answers his own questioning regarding the reasoning for which matters of fact are to be believed and how it leads into the problem of induction. To remind you, relations of ideas are apodictic claims that can be deduced with pure reasoning, using only the definition of the words in the claims itself, such as many mathematical ideas. Matters of fact are the apodictic claims that are not demonstratively true, so Hume must give an argument for why they should be believed, without being able to use the deductive reasoning that brokers no doubt for relations of ideas. To attempt to show that matters of fact should be believed, Hume takes up the role of both himself, defending his claim, and an inquisitor, asking difficult questions that Hume must answer. The first of three questions that Hume raises begins by asking rather bluntly, what is the nature of all our reasonings concerning matter of fact? And his answer is equally simple, that matters of fact seem to be based on the relation of cause and effect. This means that when someone attempts to justify a matter of fact, either to themselves or to another, it is nigh inevitable that they end up relying on the idea of cause and effect, and use some other idea to be the cause of that which they are trying to prove. For example, when attempting to justify to another person that you know your friend is in France, you might say something like, I know my friend is in France because he texted me a picture of him in front of the Eiffel Tower. If you recall, there are four ways that an object can be the cause of another. Firstly, a necessary cause, in which the absence of the cause guarantees the absence of the effect. Secondly, a sufficient cause, in which the presence of the cause guarantees the presence of the effect. Thirdly, the conjunction of the two previous types. And finally, a partial cause, in which the outwardly similar cause sometimes produces the effect in question. Hume goes into more detail on his thoughts on this fourth type of cause in section 6. Additionally, since Hume wishes to avoid uncertainty in his use of terminology, we must empirically ground the notion of cause and effect. Hume does this in three parts: that the cause is always prior to the effect, that the cause and effect are contiguous in time, and that the cause and effect are regularly conjoined in this order. Continuing on, Hume takes his probing a step further and asks, what is the foundation of all our reasonings and conclusions concerning that relation, in reference to the relation of cause and effect? Hume says that the answer is, naturally, experience. This means that the only real reason that we have to believe the relation of cause and effect is that we have experienced it working before. For example, should we think in Hume's time period, where fewer secret powers have been discovered than today, we can then say something like, the only reason we know that fire causes wood to blacken and break down is because we have repeatedly seen it do so. Now, this answer should already raise some concerns to us, since we have discussed that our senses can deceive us and our memories can report false information. But Hume treads onward. With the next question, we reach the heart of the matter and the proverbial corner that Hume has now backed himself into. What is the foundation of all conclusions from experience? In response to this, Hume doesn't have a good answer, or more precisely, he doesn't have a satisfactory one. The foundation of experience is hardly a relation of ideas, so it cannot be deduced from pure reason. And we cannot justify experience by relying on our experience, nor can we use the relation of cause and effect or justify it by saying that it is a matter of fact, because all of those would merely be begging the question. Hume goes on to describe two innate assumptions that he believes all thinking beings to have and follow. Those being that the future will resemble the past, and that outwardly similar causes will produce similar effects. However, these assumptions are not able to be deduced with pure reason, and so while they give us a reason as to why we as thinking creatures believe experience to be a useful tool in predicting the future, they still do not give us an adequate proof. And so we come upon the problem of induction. That being, you cannot prove that inductive reasoning is to be believed with only inductive reasoning, and there is no valid deductive foothold to start from. So inductive reasoning should not yet be believed with any certainty. This is the stopping point that Hume was hoping to reach with his queries. Hume was looking for something that he did not know how to answer, so he could think more deeply on it and prepare an answer for the next person that comes and reaches the same point of questioning. This is what Hume attempts to do in the next section of his book. Thank you for listening.